bird's eye view of spiritual laws of world drama, validated by science. This is the bird's eye view, single page of the laws of the spirituality. Of course, it is derived from the word spirit, which can be a soul, purush, conscious energy. It talks about eternal world drama, spiritual laws of eternal world drama. And of course, they are validated by physics as well as metaphysics. The first law is law of definition, which is based on quantum physics and theory of relativity, which defines drama, which implies that it is a predefined script, and it also defines the relation between the two main actors, namely spirit or soul, and nature, Prakruti or Purusha and Prakruti. And there is a second law, which is law of quality of actors, which is based on thermodynamics. It talks about the degradation of the quality of actors with respect to time. Ultimately, it proves that spirit with respect to the time, that vikar is increasing, and because of that vikar of the Purush, Prakruti, entropy of the Prakruti is also increasing, and that is what is law of entropy. And ultimately that will lead to the thermal death, and then it could lead to, as for the science, it could lead to the end of the drama. But as we know, the drama is eternal, so there cannot neither beginning nor end. So it has to be a cycle. And science says that entropy is increasing because of the vikar of the spirit. And if it has to be a cycle, the vikar has to be reduced or it has to become a zero. So there is a metaphysics which is beyond the boundary of entropy, or boundary of the universe is required. And that is where third actor, the Avtaran of the Paramatma, at specific time, that comes and teaches Raj Yoga, and which ultimately defines the spirituality, which is nothing but this Avtaran, which defines the spirituality, which is nothing but there is, in spite of the pain, because of the karmic account, suffering has to be zero, and that will generate a specific script which will entail you a Sada Sukh in future. Then it talks about the journey in space and time, the cyclic journey of the spirit through space of three world and time of the Vayu. So this is the journey of the space and time. So this is a single page bird's eye view of spiritual world drama. This is law one, this is second law, this is a third law, this is the fourth law, and then there's spirituality, and then there is a summary of the laws. So these are the four laws. Talk about the first law, law of definition of drama and actors. So this law concludes that Sankalp Srishti means conscious mind of the Purush or soul controls the Prakruti. Then there is actually it is a script of the Purush which controls the Prakruti. And according to Libet, the unconscious mind actually controls the conscious mind. What it says is that there will, when you experiment, so if there is the intention is covered at point 2, then action is point 3. Before the intention of any act, there is some already EEG signals, there is always a signal. So that will say that there is a free will. There is no free will, so there is unconscious mind that triggers the conscious mind and that triggers the action. So, so the script is controlling the conscious mind. So this is the Young double slit experiment. The first conclusion is based on the observation, which is a which way observation. The second is a delayed choice observation. So this is after observation. So that is this one. And and without observance, it will say that Prakriti is an energy. So only because of the energy, because of the observation by the conscious mind, uh, behavior of the Prakriti based on electrons changes. And that is let's understand what is the script. So as for theory of relativity, time and space are correlated. Time is a dimension which already exists. And that is, and the script is nothing but word line, which is the summation of the point events, which is x, y, z, and t. So this is how script is defined. And let us talk about the interpretation of this law. So this is based on Schrödinger equation. So this is the interpretation where it says that this is a Purush and this is a Prakriti. So Purush script once is observed. The Purush script interacts with Prakriti, which is based on the Schrödinger equation, superposition in terms of energy. As far as observation is there, it gets converted into mass, or from the superposition state to it is a single state, which is a colors which can be understood by the conscious mind. So this is the conscious mind. It is understood by the conscious mind. From sigma, it is the sigma m, so it comes to the conscious mind, and then that will generate the sankalp. And then from the sankalp, this prakriti will also be considered. That we'll explain in the second law. So what this shows is that Purush script is the Satya, and this is the eternal Drama. There are other interpretation, Vedic interpretation, which says that only what is observed is a Satya, and then uh, everything else, energy is a Mithya. So there is another, and then there is a Brahma, the Ashtavakra interpretation, where it says that only Q, or the core of the soul, is Satya, and everything else, including Vikar, is Mithya. That we will talk about the second law. So drama definition says that actor one controls actor two, so they both can be considered as part of the single axis. And then let us talk about the second law. So this is the law of quality. This law of quality of drama of actors. So it talks about that Prakriti, the example of Prakriti is we consider as heat engine. So this is the heat engine is there. Prakriti is energy, which we already seen. So their conservation of energy is the energy, but quality or the efficiency of the energy degrades. So we can say that in spiritual terms, it becomes Sato Tamo, or from new to old as time passes. And we will see the cycle of that Prakriti from ideal to real, or deterministic to non-deterministic. So this is the ideal, so degradation, but in ideal cycle. So this ideal we can consider as a kind of a lubricant. So everything will be deterministic. And then there is a real cycle. So this is exponential work. So this is real, and we can consider as the anomaly of the this thing, comparison of the friction. And the quality is deteriorated because of mathematically we can say that entropy has increases, and that's why efficiency or quality deteriorates, and it's based on and efficiency is based on external points and internal points. So this red line, the efficiency only becomes on the external point, otherwise it becomes an external plus internal things. So ideal way, it is a linear, or we can say it's a reversible thing. And the real is a non-linear, it's the irreversible thing. There's this is the Clausius inequality. So dq by t is line integrated is 0. So that the cycle, it will come back to the same point. So that's why it is deterministic. Here it is less than 0. So the cycle will not come to the same point. So this is the non-deterministic thing. This is the equation of the entropy is only dq by t. So this talks only about the external. This entropy depends on only on external effects. And here, external effect plus there is a entropy generated, which is always increasing. That is internal. So this depends on the external plus internal, and because of that, efficiency is only depend on the external temperature, where efficiency not only depends on the external temperature, but it's also internal entropy generated. And as we see in this figure, here things are balanced because of the dq of 0. Here in the real cycle, because of this entropy, there is an additional leakage, and because of this additional leakage, the efficiency is reduced further. And this is the equation of the efficiency, and ultimately, when TH is equal to TC, efficiency will become 0. You will not be able to work, and that is what is defined as a thermal force. So we have seen that heat engine journey from the ideal, or we can say that reversible or deterministic to the real world. It means this is with the lubrication, and this is irreversible and with a non-deterministic world. So this is what we have explained. Then we will see now we will see that this Prakriti we have seen, it is delta S we have seen in thermodynamics, and then from thermodynamics we will come to the statistics entropy. So that in statistics entropy, the combination of the microstate, it depends on the logarithm of the microstate, and this is why entropy in the standalone is defined mathematically. So it all depends on the macrostate is depend on the entropy is depend on the microstate for specific number of microstate for specific macrostate, and then this is through Maxwell-Damon. It was described that actually the microstate is memory and processing, and that is also microstates, and that is how the information entropy is derived. And from that, so that equation is that information entropy. So that is something like information entropy. So there is information that is this memory and processing. So there's something equivalent to brain. So from the brain, we can say that it is something it can be identified with the purush or the soul or the conscious of the soul. And so that information entropy, where equation is almost a logarithm of the information points, and then the height of that, or the number of searches to access to the specific information term, and that is how the entropy is defined. And so those number of layers, so this is here in this case, there is only this layer, only the one search. If you go to the H is equal to 2, so there are two options and there are two searches. So this Vicar, or we can say that height or number of searches is that depends on the number of layers, and that is based on the information. So that is based on the time. So we are able to correlate correlate entropy, thermodynamic entropy to information entropy, and ultimately to the Purush. So we are able to correlate Prakriti and Purush, and then not only we are able to correlate Prakriti and Purush, because number of searches means there will be number of vikalps. So here there is only one vikalp. If you go to here, there will be two vikalps. So that so this total path will be the vikalp, and the number of layers will, we can call it as the vikar. So this we have seen that, so we will be able to compare heat engine with the soul. So here heat engine vikar, so this is entropy generated, which we can consider as a friction, and that is equal to vikar. And then exergy destroyed. So this is energy, that is what is a vikalp that we have already seen. Now we will see the other part of this is that input heat energy is something we can say that is a script of the soul. So this is how the script will function based on the script that we have seen from the first law of spirituality. Then this is the input energy, and there will always be heat energy, there will always be exhaust. So this is the DQL, which is exhaust, and that is equivalent to a sankalp. So based on the script, there will be a sankalp, and then based on the sankalp, there will be work done. So this work done, so this is a karma. So that will be a work done. And then there will be efficiency. So the efficiency, because of the exhaust, there will efficiency always be a less than 1. And that we call it as a kala. And then then there is a source temperature or TH, and that also normally source temperature. So that is nothing but the power of the soul. So that we can see Q is external environment. There is a sink temperature. So that sink is the environment thing with number of souls. So that is a sink temperature is equivalent to number of souls. And these two we have already seen. And what we are going to see is that with respect to time, what is going to happen is that karmic account, which was zero because of the lubrication kind of thing, will become will be non-determinate. So there will be a positive karma and negative karmas. The efficiency will always go down, that we have all seen. Then we will see that because the external environment, because of the discharge, when you do the work, so this Q will always go down. So the Q will go down like this. Then in environment, we can say that because of the environment, that sink temperature will always increase, because there's a number of souls will always increase. So this is number of souls will always increase. So that will also help in polluting the world. And then, of course, because of with respect to the time, the vikar, the black layer will always increase. And because of the vikar, this vikar will increase. So number of layers. So here there is only one layer, and here there will be two layers. So there's a number of vikalp is also increasing. Then we will see how this journey from real to ideal to real, or from script S to script B, so from the nirvikari world to the vikari world, or from sato to tamo, or from new to old. So we will see this journey. So this is the nirvikari world, and in the nirvikari world, because of it is there is a determinate script, because it is already, there is a lubrication layer is there. So this is the script test which we are exhausting the prarabdha, and because there is there is a lubrication layer, and there is karma, and that is why there is no effect. So this karmic account is always zero. So this is then there is a Vikari world. So this is in the Vikari world, we will see that, because this is a script B is executed, it's a non-deterministic, and then there is a karma book. So because of this karma, there is a because of this karma growth, the script is non-deterministic, your script is automatically deterministic. And because of the karma book and based on the sankalp, there will be positive and negative karma and more vipassana. So these are the two cycles. Here time is karmic and the black layer is increasing. Here the script as this green layer is reducing. So ultimately the charge is reducing. Uh, so there is a, here because of the karmic account, there is a vikalp. Here it was a sankalp. And then because of the sankalp, karma was executed. Because of vikalp, this is vikarma is getting executed. And then we'll see. So this is script S. This is a dotted line is script S. This is a blue circle is a script B. And because of this script, we will see how the quality is deteriorating. So when we take the first birth, so this is a conscious layer and this is the total green layer. And then gradually with the time, this green layer, this dotted line, this is this layer is getting executed. So that green layer, that this Q is nothing but the Satogun, the seven qualities of the soul, namely Gyan, Pavitita, Shanti, Prem, Khushi, Anand, and Shakti. So these seven qualities are getting deteriorated, and that is because of script test. And once the all script test is executed, then the real things, the script B is executed, and that because of that there's a karmic account. So because of karmic account, this vikar is there. So this black layer is there, and then the next one, this black layer is increasing. So these are the four yukes, and based on the four yukes, we can see that Q is gradually deteriorating. So this Q is gradually deteriorating. And now we will combine law 1 and law 2, and we are combining quantum physics, theory of relativity, and the thermodynamics. So this is visual script are entered from the script. When the script is executed with phi, there's interaction with phi element. So this is energy is converted into M. It will convert into sigma M. So it is it is the collapse. So this is superposition. This is a collapse because this is what is understood by conscious mind. Based on that conscious mind, it will based on this sigma, it will generate the sankalp that we have already seen, and we have seen that because of this is non-deterministic world, this equation dqt less than equal to 0, and then this is the equation ds is dqt by t, and plus this is a dsg. So this is the entropy which is what is generated. So with sankalp, the dqt is conscious mind generates sankalp, which is generated dqt because there is a because of this script B is executed, the vikar is already generated. There is a black layer, so that generates based on the same psi m. It generates the vikalp, and that vikalp in general it will generate the entropy, the DSG. So that will go into the Prakruti, and so this is the dqt. It is based on the sankalp, and this based on the vikalp. This is the entropy is generated. And this, as per this equation, so this is how the quality, because entropy is always increasing. So quality of the phi element is deteriorates as per this equation. And then there was the interpretation, Aham Brahmasmi. So what it is showing that as per that is only Q is truth and everything else is wrong. So they say that this vikar is also imaginary, but that is not the case. And because of that only, in the cycle, both Purush and Prakruti it degrades is because of the Vikar. And that is what is shown here. So this interpretation of Aham Brahmasmi of the Ashtavakra Gita is not valid because this Vikar is integral part of the world drama. Only the script is the truth. This was a law of drama of the actor. So we have seen that Purush Vikar controls the entropy of the what is the quality always determined. We have also seen from the thermal entropy to what is the information entropy. Based on that, we could correlate from Prakriti to Purush. And as we already know through quantum physics, actually Purush controls the Prakriti, but with thermodynamics, we try to reversely correlate from Prakriti to Purush. And and as for the science, this y-axis, it will go towards, this is minus infinity. So it will go on, it will be n. But then if the drama is eternal, that is what we feel. If drama is eternal, then it has to be cycle. So this was going Sato to Tamo, so something has to become from Tamo to Sato. But we have seen that Purush Vikar controls the Prakriti. We have seen that this entropy is always increasing. So it cannot, so if it is cycle, it has to reduce. As for the physics or science, this is not possible. So if it is a cycle, then somebody Vikar has to reduce. And that if Vikar has to reduce, so there has to be metaphysics. It has to be go beyond the boundary of the universe where law of entropy doesn't work. So there is a param purush avtaran. So metaphysics phenomena has to happen. Then and then there can be a then and then there can be a cycle. So this is what is the right time. There is avtaran of the param purush. This is avtaran. And because of this avtaran, this cycle has to complete. So we have seen this cycle is like this. It could have gone up to infinity. So this if cycle has to complete. So this cycle has to complete. There are two ways. One is by yoga karma. So this is for your spirituality. So there will be some critical mass of the soul that have to generate the script S. So, and these will qualify for the new world. So only those things will qualify for the new world. So this is by the yoga karma, so that this part, the ideal part, can get executed because there is no magic. So you have to do the effort, and then remaining souls will complete the cycle based on the karma bhog, and then from them, that is only this. They will only travel through this black part, and this is how the cycle will get completed. So this is what is the law of eternal. So it is the law of the cycle. So the theory of relativity, as per the theory of the relativity, what is it? There is a concept of the block universe, and so this is the present, this is the past, and this is future, which is can be linear, it can be circular. So growing block universe, so whether it is a straight line, then things are happening, or it is like a DVD or universe time travel in circle, nothing new. So then there is a period. So we know this script. So this, as per the theory of relativity, the block universe can be a something circular DVD. So which also would suggest that it is a drama is a cycle. Then there is a special theory of relativity. In the special theory of relativity, we have talked about word line, which is a slim. So there's a black line, which is a straight. But when you use a general theory of relativity based on the because mass of the world, so there is a gravity, and then it says the gravity is not a force, but it will make the word line curved. So this is makes the word line curved, and if you make the word line curved, the word line has to meet again and again. So that also implies that this could be a cyclic. Now, when we say about the cyclic, so this is Gita also says yada yada hi dharmasya glani nirbhati bharat. So there is an incarnation of the Paramatma, but that incarnation from the soul world, we will see that it is a pure world, and where thermodynamics law doesn't apply. This is a pure world and there is no birth, no thermodynamics law is applied. So that Paramatma Avtaran and then Paramatma will become one soul. So this is the concept of Avtaran is two souls in one body. So one is a host soul and another is the soul of the Paramatma. So that is the concept of the Avtaran, and then the Paramatma comes in and it gives the Raj Yoga, so which is a Gyan in Yoga, so that vikar can be made zero and the cycle can start. Now, let us see how this happens. So, it is very clear to complete the cycle, you just go from tamo to sato. So, that param purush, that vikar, that black layer has to become zero. And there are two ways. One is by karma bhog and another is by rajyoga. The karma bhog is based on the action and reaction. So that is something like the karmic account. And when that is action is the reaction and all the vikarma is all you can give sukhanda, but this is something is law of diminishing utilities. Everything is temporary. But then other way is through Raj Yoga. So in what Raj Yoga it does is so when you do the Raj Yoga, so in physics there is experiments you can experience, so you can communicate with Paramatma. So there is a electromagnetic wave, so you can communicate. So this is almost like a concept of telepathy. Then there is, you can experience the Atindriya Sukh. So this is the concept of resonance. And then we can see that our sanskars are changing. So that is nothing but the lens, sun lens and focus. And because of the focus, the paper is burnt. So these vikars are burnt. So this way, vikars are burned. And then because of this vikar is burned, so this Q or the equation stress is equal to pressure divided by resilience. So this resilience increases, and because of that resilience, whatever is the paristiti or a pressure, we will feel less of the stress. We'll able to cope up with that. And then there is a once you communicate with God, so there is something like quantum entanglement. So you are always communicated with the gods, and that is the right thing. So that is we call it a constantly communicated. You become a God conscious. So this is something like quantum entanglement. So by this, when black layer is zero, because of the vikar is zeros and the Purush controller prakriti, entropy becomes zero. So time will can become zero, and then this is how there is a going to be a cycle. Now we'll complete the cycle from tamo to sato. So here, because of the yoga, so because of the Raj Yoga, we will vikar is generated, and then with Purushat, God conscious will become a Purushat. So instead of generating Sankalp and Vikalp, we'll generate the Sresht Sankalp, and that will generate the Shu Karma. So here there was karma is zero, a karma. This is karma plus and minus Vikarma. And this is a red is a Shu Karma. It will generate the script test, which is a Pralab. And when the script is generated, and then we can enjoy this Nirvikari life. Uh, the script is generated, and then this is what is a Shresht Sankalp. Uh, and so from Sato to Tamo, we again go back to Tamo to Sato, and then we'll see here we can say that we already seen that things are going from Sato to Tamo, but here because of the cycle there are two ways, either Yoga or Bhog. So in Bhog, it will directly this vikar with bhog, it will get nullified and no script will be generated. With yog, we will see that, this black layer is reduced and the script is increasing. And again, it will go back to script, it will come to the original form. And then there will be exit. So this is what it is explained. So the Q, downgrade of the Q and upgrade of Q, this is how the cycle has been explained. And then we have seen the cycle is akarma, vikarma, and because of the sukarma, again we'll go back here. So this is how the cycle is getting completed. We've seen the cycle is getting completed. We will we will see that the cycle is getting completed, and and what we have forgot to mention is that for this quality to remain constant, what is important is that entropy has to reduce with respect to time. But then entropy only reduces if time will reduce. But that is law of entropy. Physics says that time cannot reduce. So time cannot become zero. So as far the physics is concerned, you cannot have a cycle. So, so that is also proved. So you cannot have a cycle. And then, then we have seen the cycle tamo to sato. So now we will see So we'll talk about the emotional world. So there's energy body. So this energy body is nothing but combination of Q plus Vikar. So this energy body is our Q plus Vikar, and Vikar is accumulated in this thing. In Nirvikari world, it is only Q, and then there is because gradually the Vikars are included. And then to the exercise of this, we have to make your flexible by Gyan and Yoga. So by Raj Yoga, so it is equivalent to Gyan is equivalent to food, and Yoga is equivalent to Vikar. So by that, we will try to reduce our Vikar. And once if you try to reduce the Vikars, even in the pain, so karmic account, pain will be there. So because if we reduce the Vikar, we can make the suffering zero, or we reduce the suffering, and that is how the happiness. So this depends on the positive thoughts, or we can say that that is what is a Shreshth Sankalp. So when you become a God conscious, so even in spite of the pain, you can be in happiness mode, and then it is based on the Shrinkul. This is what is Shreshth Sankalp. So that because of God, this frequency is zero. So this is only the charging, only one soul we can charge it, and we can generate the script. So we can go to the determination nirvikari world, that is our pralabdha, and that is we'll enjoy the Sada Sukh. So ultimately, what Rajyog teaches is that without Rajyog, we feel that because of the black layer of Vikar, we feel that we are merged. So we will feel that our body is, we are body and senses. And so we seek the happiness from the external source, and that is always temporary. What is spirituality is that with Raj Yoga, we will be able to think that we have a two bodies. So we have two bodies. One is a physical body and another is an energy body. And then from energy body, we will be able to understand what is the soul. And from the soul, we will be able to experience the Q, the seven sadgun of the soul, like Shanti, Pavitrata, happiness and all that, Anand. And and we'll able to understand that happiness is internal uh, and it is eternal. So it is almost the Sada Sukh. We'll be able to experience the Atindriya Sukh. And then we'll try to understand the definition of the spirituality. So we have seen these three laws, the law of eternity, and then we will see So this is a spirit. So from the spirit, the power of the spirit is a thought. So energy of the spirit, the basic unit of that is a thought or emotion or whatever. So that is how the spiritual is defined. So that is, it is strictly based on the time. So that spirituality starts with time, means the Avtarana of the Param Purush or Gita, that Gita show Yada Yada. And otherwise, everything else is default, means automatic. Like in Nirvikari world, there will always be Sankalp. So we are always in soul conscious mode because we are executing the script as which is we have already generated. So in Vikari world, because of these vikars and because of this cycle where where our script as is already exhausted. So there will be vikalp and there we will be in body consciousness, there will be karmic mood, there will be pain and there will be suffering. So, so for all souls, uh, as per the quality of the souls or the initial charge of the soul, so this is the default behavior. When in a diamond world, when it is a diamond world, so Sangam Yuga, we have to generate, because then we have to become a God conscious, then we'll become a Sresh Sankal, then we'll generate the scriptures. And if we generate the scriptures, then in spite of the pain, with our suffering will be zero, and that is what is taught by the Raj Yoga. So this is what is we have to do this Purusharth. Then only then if you do this Purusharth, the red line will be eligible for the this red line here. So this is and this is the time of the settlement, the time of settlement of the all the souls. So somebody will settle by a red line and somebody will settle with the black line. The spirituality is that you have to recognize the soul and then based on the Raj Yoga, you have to always generate the Shresh Sankalp. Then if you generate the Shresh Sankalp, then we will generate the scriptures and then we will be able to have we'll go to the Nirvikari world. So these are the three laws, and then once this concept is clear, then we'll see what is the laws of the cyclic journey, the law of the journey of the soul, cyclic journey of souls through space and space and soul. So this is the cyclic journey, and then this is the soul world, this is the human world, and this is the angel world, and angel world works as office of the, because there is a conversion from the Vikari world to Nirvikari world. So this work as an office. And this is the total cycle of the drama. Uh, and this same cycle. So here, this is green is human world. This is blue is a universe. White is the angel world. And this is a different perspective of the cyclic world. And here we have seen that this is the frequency is less than zero. There's only Supreme Soul as the charge, so that you can critical mass of this will charge it through the Purusharth. That is what is the spirituality. And this is how this completes the cycle.